Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Sexual attractiveness is key. Notice I said sexual attractiveness. Now, one of the things that a lot of guys get confused with is they think physically looking good and being sexually attractive are the same thing. You can physically look good and the woman isn't turned on. Hence why last year I was doing all those handsome man videos, because they were saying, hey, everybody say I'm handsome, I'm having trouble. You're not turning the woman on. Sexual attractiveness is different. It's more of a mindset. Yes, the physical part gets in there, particularly the body. But even then, if you look at some of the women, if you talk to women and ask them which guys they consider sexy, it's never just on their physical appearance. In fact, I've talked to several women, they'll say, oh yeah, a few will say, oh yeah, he gotta be gorgeous and all of that. But then some others will say, well, he can be average. Others will say, well, he can be medium ugly. Or some will say, hey, they prefer ugly sexy. But the thing is, what it is, it's the overall package, including the mannerisms. That's the key. It's more about the mannerisms, his behavior, and how does the woman feel around him? So like when she sees him, what does she think? How does she feel? You know? And that goes beyond just what his aesthetics are. He can physically look good, but then she don't want to have sex with him because something about him turns her off. Like, there's a lot of guys like that. There's a lot of guys who they'll say, well, you know, they're handsome. They've been watching the body game videos. They dress well. Hey, they even got money and status, but the woman isn't tingling. Meanwhile, she going crazy over a guy who don't have half as much money as the guy, doesn't stand out as much physically, could probably stand to lose a few pounds, but something in his mannerisms, his behavior, turns her on. And I'm gonna get more into that in my video coming on Friday. Skipping Thanksgiving. Now, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving or Family Day, Native American Heritage Day, whatever term you want to use. I like Family Day. Anyway, but it's key because part of it too is your attitude towards sex. And I've talked about this before. You have some people who are very sexually repressed. You know, they need certain things to happen for them to be free sexually. And then you have some other people, they just totally out there. They just totally out there. Oh, and I remember I said that before. Some guy, yeah, all women are out there like that. No, not really. You haven't dealt with all women. So, not really. But you have some people, they more repressed. Some people are just more open, you know? And that's a big part of it too. That's a big part of it, because it's not even so much, you know, how physically strong, you know, you could have all the muscles, the handsome face, and, you know, the fitting clothes, but then how you walking with it. Like, a man's walk can turn a woman on. And I'm gonna get into that more, like I said, in the episode on Friday. But a man's walk can turn her on. How he just stands, how he looks at her, it could turn her on. It's a lot of different things. And see, one of the things I'm seeing is a lot of guys don't talk about that angle. Because the thing is, if more men talked about the angle, I guarantee you wouldn't have as many men having trouble with sex. Because you got some guys thinking, oh, well, if I'm not getting it because I don't look good. You know, I'm not this height or something. Yet you got some guys that look exactly like that man who's getting it. They got the right attitude. They're comfortable with sex. That's very important. I cannot emphasize that enough. I cannot emphasize that enough. And many men have to learn that. Like, just get off of like a certain thing. Because see, here's the thing. So like, I'm gonna really emphasize this. So many factors go into like the woman being turned on, you know? And I'm starting to flow into what I was going to talk about Friday. You know, I'll leave it there. Just understand something. you need to focus on the sexual side, you know, like in general. And I'm saying this is very in general. What is sex anyway? It's the coming together of a man and a woman. Heterosexual sex anyway. That's what I know. So that's what I'll be talking about. So that's the coming together of a man and a woman. What's the things that bring them together? Okay, physical attraction is part of it. But then that's one part. That's why I emphasize body game and everything. A nice physique. And you still need to fix your face up, hair, and all of that. But that's just one part of it. The next part is actually connecting emotionally. That's where charisma comes in. That's where charisma. And I've emphasized this so many times, but I'm gonna have to stay on this. You know, y'all can look good. Y'all can look physically good to each other, but then you get on a date, can't stand each other. You know, your personalities don't click. And anybody who says personality isn't a part of it, I guarantee they count is less than all the fingers on my hand. And if we count that, I still got fingers left over. Boom. And that's the thing. Oh shoot, let's just be real with it. Be like, boom. You know, that's the thing. So you still got to connect with them. They got to still feel comfortable. I'm going to get into that in a second. I'm going to skip over that for a second and talk about being masculine, coming off having masculine mannerisms. That's a big turn on to women. Just like a woman truly being feminine is a big turn on to men. So that all of those factors come into it. All of those factors come into it and everything. And then, you know, getting back to the charisma, getting back to the connection, that's very important. Because if two people, because the connection is important, because women typically, most women got some type of shield up. Most women. Very few women are just totally open. Even, you know, the so-called modern women, the 304s, they still ain't gonna sleep with everybody. I've known some women, they were straight up open, but there were still some guys they used the word no with. Part of it is the woman has to be receptive. She gotta be open to having sex with you. And you gotta have that type of personality, that type of aura that facilitates that. And, you know, as people say, well, how do I do it? How do I do it? Oh, well, go to my description box. I got a whole bunch of videos. Talking about sex. Talking about some stuff. My books. Talking about sex. That's my main thing anyway. I keep telling people, you know, I'm telling you how to get sex. On my Patreon, I'm telling you how to get sex. I'm giving you different insights and everything. But one of the biggest things is getting past her defenses. Because just the way things are, like, let's use that body count thing. Women know they can't be honest about their count. Because you got some guys who feel like 3 is too many. So they don't know. So they already go into it, the lie, say, well, and they had some mistakes, of course. They wonder how the guy's going to judge them. Because you got like the body, that's a great example. Most of these women are not going to be comfortable sharing it because they know they're going to get judged. So they're already defensive. A big part of being sexually attractive is making a woman comfortable. A big part of it. Now, if you got a problem with whatever about her sexual past, well, she probably ain't going to see you as sexy. I mean, you have a right to it, but why should she get with you? She's not comfortable. And let me turn this around. A woman who ain't comfortable with you sexually, even if you have sex with her, it ain't gonna be good sex. It'll be starfish if you even get that far. And usually, to even get that far, you're gonna pay some money. And you're dealing with an acculturated prostitute. So I want you to really think about that. Really, really think about that. But sexual attractiveness is key. And like I said, please don't get in the comments and say, well, what can I do? I told you what to do. I got a whole list, whole links in my description box of different angles about it. Because that's what I'm teaching. I got a Patreon where you can just simply take your time and go through the archives in the description box. shoot, just some of the stuff I talk about on the outside of it, just go through my archives on YouTube. All right. So anyway, that's all I have for now, y'all. And get back with you. Peace and blessings.